Hey guys, it's Jackson the Squad, and we're here reacting to Hamination again!
More Haminations!
He has a whole bunch of cool videos. Give him a subscribe. Let's go ahead and choose a video.
That one! I want that one!
What? Which one?
School!
Oh, okay. All right. School it is.
Oh, it's an
Okay,
oldie.
let's do it.
I've had all kinds of experiences with
A
it.
and A.
Sometimes you get a great teacher who can make you excited about learning and can clearly explain the content to you. I had this one science teacher who let me hold her snake on the first day of school. Oh my gosh, keep that snake away from me! What are you talking about? It's not hurting anybody. It's okay. That teacher
Yeah, it's
was
fine.
so good.
Nice
She was strict yet nice. Also, she played the
Those are the best
banjo
kind
at a
of teachers.
professional level.
So, did anyone have a teacher that they actually liked when they were a kid?
I had one.
Oh?
He liked to throw things at us when we fell asleep in class, and since I never fell asleep in class, it was really funny for me to watch him throw stress balls at kids.
You're not supposed to do that!
Sure they are.
It worked, I guess.
Sometimes teachers are pretty bad. The worst teacher I ever had was my 9th grade science teacher. We'll call him Mr. Stupid Idiot.
Sora, are you related?
Was he would throw a packet at us,
No.
tell us the answers without explaining why the answers were the way they were, and then he would throw a quiz at us while he sat at his desk doing nothing. It was
Hey,
literally
good luck, fam.
regurgitating information, followed by forgetting it all since
Ew.
it was so unexplained. One time, I was in class, and literally everybody was on their phone, since the teacher couldn't teach worth crap, as we all know. And since I was
plus
not
two
learning
is not
anything, I pulled out my
five.
phone and texted my mom.
I've sent those texts before.
I've never.
Yeah.
And then, Bryson, give me your phone.
Uh-oh.
I looked up at Mr. Stupid Idiot. You do see how literally everyone else in here is on their phone, and you single me out? He just said, give me your phone again. I was so
He
mad.
must have been reading
Literally
his... Oh, wait,
everyone
whoa,
else
what
there was
that?
on their phone.
How hecking dare you? Everyone else is on their hecking phone, yet you decide to hecking take my hecking phone.
A few minutes later.
Did you really hecking read all this? Heck.
My friend Dallin worked as a janitor after school there, and he was cleaning by the main office when he overheard a counselor yelling at that teacher. Why do I have so many people complaining to me about how they aren't learning anything in your class? I don't know why. I give them comprehensive study guides before tests. I have interactive class lectures with class
What?
participation, and I always ask, does anyone have any questions?
Someone called a lion.
Which are
police.
all things that he did not do. But it also proves that he knew how to actually teach, but was choosing not to.
It just doesn't want.
Wow, laziness at its finest.
Why does this happen to me? At the same school in 8th grade, I took a
mouse is
ceramics
seat.
class.
Dang.
And the
Ceramics
boxes are
is
all
working
over
with
the
clay and stuff, and that teacher was so nice. We'll call her Miss Ceramics teacher. She would have lessons on how to work with
Oh, yeah.
clay
Whoa,
and
whoa,
prevent it
oh
from
my
cracking and how to
God.
combine two
Whoa.
pieces of clay together without it falling apart. It was so interesting
just
and
looks like
fun, and I
poop.
learned so much.
he
So
made his
in
own
9th grade, I decided to take her class again. However, the class was only one semester, and I had her class in 2nd semester. I had been hearing from my friend who had her in 1st semester talk about all the great projects they got to do. So I was so
He has a
excited to
lot
get
of
to work with
hair.
clay again. I walked into class, sat down, and waited with anticipation. Then a substitute
no.
I had never seen before came walking in and started taking roll. I raised my
He's gonna
hand.
give them an assignment, isn't he?
Where's Mrs. Ceramics teacher? Oh yeah, she had a stroke. What? The week before I got into ceramics, the teacher had
nicest
had a
teacher.
stroke and wouldn't be back for the rest of the semester. End my suffering. So basically, that class was just substitute after substitute, and they all knew nothing about clay. But they saved the worst one for last.
No.
Oh no.
His name was
The
Mr.
final
Salazar.
boss.
Just like Salazar
Salazar?
Slytherin from the Harry Potter books. He always had this blank expression on his face. No emotion. And one day he came into class with a laptop,
I like his
looked
belly.
at Mrs. Ceramics' teacher's heavily decorated desk, and thought, oh, I'll just shove my laptop on here to make room. So like an
Oh,
idiot,
no.
he just
No.
shoved his laptop into all her ceramics
Oh my
pieces.
gosh, and there it
Mrs.
goes.
Ceramics' teacher's favorite vase teetered and then shattered into a million
She had a
pieces.
stroke. She didn't go through enough
Dude,
this year.
that was her favorite vase. Nothing.
End him.
And then he just started teaching a lesson
What?
and didn't even acknowledge what he had just destroyed.
This is
What the
ceramic
heck even
class.
are you? So that class basically sucked. This next one was on me. I was laying on my desk like this while taking notes on the lecture the teacher was giving, but I started to fall asleep. I would blink and it was like 2 minutes later. Okay, class.
Oh,
now, when
no.
Christopher Columbus discovered America, the Declaration of Independence
Oh, God.
declared that the
Whoa.
Civil War had
Whoa.
begun, and Hitler
You're
promised
missing
not to invade any
everything.
more territories, but he lied, and Martin Luther King Jr. was super rad, then Donald Trump was elected president.
Oh, no.
And that's what you need to know for the test. Bryson, can you please summarize the lecture we just had?
The whole lecture?
Can you repeat the question? Now, my handwriting is already barely legible, but I looked at the notes I took while falling asleep. Here, look. This part doesn't even follow the
I
lines.
write worse than that.
As you can see, my superpower of falling asleep
That's
really fast is both a
hieroglyphics.
blessing
That's how I write when the lights are off.
and a curse. Part 2?
Oh, wait, there's a part 2?
Jax, load up part 2.
Loading up part 2!
I am just realizing that I'm a senior this year, and my high school career is coming to a
Dang,
close.
he's getting
And now I
old.
gotta go to college and all that big boy stuff.
Not that seniors.
And I am not ready to be an adult yet. So before I made the last video about how a lady thought I was a girl,
Back to an A+,
I'm not,
I
by the
see.
way. I'm a boy. I
Yeah.
mean, a man.
Yeah.
English history class that entire story. So, how was everybody's weekends? Someone thought I was a girl. That's my comedy secret. Self-deprecation.
That's my weekend summer dub.
Oh, it's just because you're so dainty, Bryson. Well, hey, she's not wrong. See? Self-deprecation,
are
comedy
dainty.
gold. This other time after lunch, me and my friends were playing a game called Foot Game or something. You all stand within a big square on the floor and try and step on the other player's feet to get them out.
What?
If you
Sounds
step out of
awful.
bounds, then you
Wait.
are out. If your foot
You're
gets
gonna
stepped
ruin
on,
my
then you are out. Pretty simple. Nothing could ever
Step
go
on
wrong
my
with
kicks,
that,
I step
right?
on your face.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Luke is not in the game. I guess we're going to have to
But
play
this
with
one
everybody
time
else.
was different. These other two random girls came to play as well, and we began to play.
Oh, wow.
Then one of the girls who I didn't know cornered me.
Uh-oh.
I waited for her to make a move, and I don't know if she was confused, but instead of stepping on my foot, she violently kicked me in the shin. I fell over in pain, and she immediately began to apologize. Apparently, she didn't mean to kick me, but like, how do you mess up that
How do you
bad?
accidentally do that?
Okay, we've got him cornered. This is our moment of glory. Just gotta press the step button. Oh, wait, no!
Oops, happens all
You know,
the time.
I think it's funny how easily some teachers can get into side tangents and get off topic.
Okay, so since the transformation is inside the parentheses, it shifts the graph to the right by 3.
Is that a side tangent?
My daughter
yeah,
was
it's
crying
right.
about this the other night. She got a 98% on a test, right? And I was like, it's a test. Like, why are you crying about that? Like, it's a 98, it's a good
Hang
score.
on, but what about the tan? Well,
So I was
okay.
on the boat, and I got seasick,
Oh,
so I ran
no,
to the side of
that's
the
the
boat and just
tangent.
blasted
the-
the vomit all over.
Yum.
Here's a picture of my dog. Isn't she cute?
In 8th grade, I walked into class to show my friend Dallin a drawing I had made. It was a sketch of a character in the anime style. I showed it to Dallin and he thought it was cool. Then, out of nowhere, the guy sitting behind him asserted himself.
I hate anime.
I can see why you would think that. I just like the art style.
No, the art style is dumb too.
What?
Really?
Okay,
I angrily
wow.
snapped the sketchbook shut and walked to my
This guy
seat.
just has an
That
anger
guy who I
problem.
wasn't even talking
What a
to just
jerk.
jumped into our conversation and shoved his unwanted opinion down our throats.
I
like,
hate those
who does
guys.
that? One time in 8th grade, I walked into history class and sat down.
Oh, it's
Then
that
the kid next to me said,
Hey, have you seen those pens that change colors? They're like really cool.
"Whoa, how does it work?"
Just press the button.
Hey!
An electric
Got
pen.
him!
The whole thing was just a gag to get me to
Shock
press the
pen.
pen, and it shocked me.
Gotcha.
He tricked me. I have to get him back somehow. The next day, I
Kick him
walked
in the
into
shin.
class, and the kid asked me,
Hey, have you ever seen one of those pens that change colors?
Oh,
"Oh
come on,
shoot,
man.
he forgot that he tricked me yesterday. This is my chance to get revenge." "Oh, this is cool. How does it work?"
Just press the button.
Then I flipped the pen in my hand and jabbed it into him and shocked him.
Ow, what the?
Yeah.
"You don't remember me?"
It's you. I can't believe I forgot.
Revenge is sweet.
That was a scene straight out of anime.
Last story.
Who are you?
One time I was in
It's me. Oh, it's you.
health class with my friend Dallin, and we had to calculate our BMI. Your BMI tells you if you're bigger or smaller than most people your age. You have underweight. Hey Bryson, I'm obese, lol.
That's me. I'm obese, lol.
Yeah.
One day, I took a walk with Bo and I sneezed.
Bo.
And from that point on,
Aw.
my back hurt.
I've had those sneezes.
After tolerating the pain for a week, like a man, I finally decided to have a chiropractor come help me. I laid down and he touched my back for a few seconds. Yeah, you threw out a rib.
I'm sorry, what?
Wait, what? It turns out that from sneezing, I dislocated a rib like an old man. I didn't even know rib dislocation was a thing. I barely entered adulthood and my body is already deteriorating. So he fixed the rib and he adjusted my whole body. In conclusion, I've messed up my neck from sleeping wrong and I've thrown out a rib from sneezing. So I'm probably just one big fart away from death. One day.
No.
I want to see more about the dog. I want to see more about the dog.
Oh, Bo, right here?
My dog, B.O.
Okay.
It's Bo!
That's not what the dog's name is.
Hi, I'm here to adopt this dog. Sure thing, but first you must face the adoption trial. Trial?
What?
Yes!
Yeah.
In order to adopt
Gotta
the
make sure
dog,
you're
you must
qualified.
conquer me and my dog in combat.
I'll
do
what
it.
is
I don't know.
Pokemon?
I'll do it for him!
Pokemon battle?
But wait,
I
he doesn't
can't
have
lose.
one.
I will beat you.
Is he gonna use his turtles or something?
Wait,
Oh.
what?
It's an enemy stand.
No. Wait.
Destruction.
Wait. Oh!
Well, that was a nightmare,
Double
and I'm pretty
team.
sure I'm bleeding internally and punctured a lung, but it was all worth it for you. Hi, I'm Bryson, and this is my dog, Bo. Today we're gonna talk about some of the joys and pains of owning a dog. Bo! After deciding I wanted a dog, I searched a bajillion animal shelters and met several dogs, but when I met Bo, it was seriously love at first sight. His shiny, lustrous coat, his beefy head, his vacant expression, his muscular cheeks. How could I resist? But what really impressed
You
me
got
about
some
Bo
muscular
was that he
cheeks,
could be
if I
high
might
energy
say.
and goofy at times, but I could also get him to calm down.
Good
Bo is a
boy.
stupid name. Bo, sick 'em.
Yeah!
Actually, even the first hour of Bo officially being my dog was kind of crazy. On the drive home from adopting him, I was trying to check my blind spot, but all I could see was his big head in the way. So that was a pretty scary drive. Jesus, take the lead! I also didn't know how Bo acted around other dogs, so I was very cautious. One time I was taking him on a walk in the snow, when all of a sudden we turned a corner and saw a dog. Bo bolted, and I immediately slipped on ice, falling right on my butt and dropping Bo's leash in the process. Before I continue, put yourself in the other dog owner's perspective. A 70-pound pit bull is running full speed at you, and the owner is incapacitated. You are moments from death.
It's time to drop. Oh!
Nah, I'm just kidding. It turns out Bo is very friendly with strangers and other dogs. But that would have been unfortunate if I had a murderer on my hands, right? I would have had to be all like, sorry my dog destroyed your dog and bit you in the jugular.
Oh.
This is kind of awkward.
Is there like a
well,
card
see
for
you
that?
later. Another snowy night before I had trained Bo how to listen to me, he once again heard another dog and initiated make a friend mode. He started
No, it's a
sprinting at
bad
full
mode.
speed, pulling me behind him, and I was
That's the best
literally
mode.
skating and slipping on the ice behind him. Surprisingly, the
That's
1
one
ounce
way
of
to
coordination
travel.
in my body made it so I didn't fall. It was actually kind of cool. Bo is also very nosy,
posed like a
physically
superhero.
nosy. If he could talk, he would be like, "What you doing? What's that? Where you going? What you got there? What
my
you doing? What you
God.
doing? What you doing?"
Oh, so it's
Literally
light.
anywhere I go, him and his big nose are there. Sometimes you think he's off laying down somewhere, but then you open the door and he materializes behind you. Also, sometimes I'll let him sleep in the bed with me, but he lays right smack in the middle, so I have to Tetris my body in order to fit.
Or you just give up the whole bed
Also,
to
he's
your
a big
dog.
fan of drinking stupid amounts of water. Sometimes I'll get out of the shower, he will nose his way in and lick the water off my legs like a
Oh,
weirdo.
buzzing.
But one time I got out, turned to get my towel, and...
Oh.
Harrison, why don't you just lock your bathroom door?
That was a booty licker. Dang. That says Sora was a dog.
That's if Sora was Sora. That's Sora right now.
Dang. Ooh.
Oh, is Bo here? Is he a special
Yeah,
guest?
he's outside.
Wow.
Let him in.
Okay. Woof woof.
He's becoming more and more powerful, and I can't stop him. Bryson, it's 4 p.m. Time for me to bathe you. That's a joke. His IQ is 4, just like his dad. He's very muscular and strong and way more handsome than me. Hey, that's a good-looking dog. You could use some work, though. I mean, your cheeks don't even compare. What? Also, Bo is a plush now. Isn't he cute? Use the link in the description to buy one before they sell out.
Hey, Bo, what do you think? Bo, hey, give it back, give it back. Give it back.
Another thing about Bo is that he used to hate going in his crate. Several crates have died by his hand. I seriously don't know how he does it, because around me, he's a very sweet family dog. But when I wasn't around, he used to just murder crates from the inside, to the point where he broke a tooth off escaping the crate once. So I paid to give him a metal tooth, and now he looks like a gangster. Okay, this next part gets a little heavy, but I feel very strongly about it, and I want to speak up against unjust hatred towards these dogs. Pit bulls are dogs that have awful reputations, which I'm very against because I was raised with them and all of ours have been loyal, loving family dogs. Obviously, I'm biased, so please do your own research, but here's the conclusion I've come to. Any dog can be aggressive and any dog can be loving. It all depends on the way you nurture and teach your dogs.
There you go,
Although
owners.
sometimes professional training is required. Please judge dogs on an individual basis, not based on breed. Since I love Bo so much, I also have a lot of nicknames for him. Here are some of my favorites. Bosif, Bozo, Bodacious, Bojangles, Bowberry Biscuit, Bosephine Rex, and Baron Beauregard.
Hey,
he is
how
very
classy.
clumsy. He hits his head on everything. You know how dogs are supposed to be able to see in the dark? Well, one night I turned off the lights and started walking towards my room, and I heard a big thunk from his head hitting the door. He'll also hit his head on walls, benches, other dogs, chairs, anything. I mean, how could he not with a head that big? So I decided to get him human glasses. So that was an awkward doctor's visit. Read off the letters you see. Yeah, I think his prescription is a bit off. After all the crates being destroyed, me and my family decided it was probably best for him to be professionally trained for a little while. And I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty depressed when I had to leave him for 3 weeks to be trained.
Nothing like giving your dog to a professional that has has a hat that says dog on it. Nothing says professional like dog hats.
I couldn't leave my dog for that long. I would go with him.
Oh yeah.
He was doing good, but let's be honest, I'm no professional, and he needed some better obedience. And I needed better training
said
tactics.
speak, not
But
rant.
I have him back now, and he's better than ever, and I'm never leaving him anywhere ever again.
Okay,
Well, off to my wedding.
For
Give
real.
the best man speech.
Well said. Perfect.
Beautiful words, Bo.
I'm crying.
Powerful.
Oh man, does he know how to set up a joke or what?
In conclusion, I love Bo. He's my full-time best friend, and I adore him, and I would literally die for him. And if I see any of you making mean comments about pit bulls, then I will appear in your room tonight. Ha ha! Pit bulls are stupid, vicious monsters. The only monster is me.
Give him the cheeks! Give it to him! Alright, it is my turn, alright?
Oh, okay.
Alright, chill.
I will choose. My brother almost died 18 times.
18
Oh my god, 18
Many.
times. Okay.
Hey, Brenner, if you jump off this cliff right now, I'll give you...
Wow. He didn't even make the award. Oh my god.
Sora, I'll give you $5 to jump off. Oh, okay.
This is gonna be a long video, because Brenner gets injured a lot. I don't want to cut out good stories or do a part 2, so let's just sit down, relax, grab some popcorn, and laugh at my brother's pain.
All
Now,
right.
almost all of Brenner's injuries were self-inflicted. However, I think it's only right we start the video with Brenner's very first injury, the one he got
even feel
from me. Brenner had recently been born, and my parents invited me
trying
into
to
their
murder
room
your
to say
brother.
hi to my
Got
new
it.
baby
That's a
brother.
weird
As I
flex.
said hello to him, he reached out his hand and scratched my chest. Now, obviously, Brenner was just a baby. He had no control of his body and was just moving
Pushing
around.
down on the
but
soft
my
spot.
4-year-old brain could not let this slide.
Oh my god.
Dare you?
No.
First, you come into my house, take my spot as the cute youngest child, and take
gonna
all the
uppercut
attention
the baby.
from my parents? And now
No,
this?
not the baby.
I offered you my hand in friendship, and you attacked me. You must pay recompense for your actions.
He's a baby.
Hey! No! Stop!
Smack him.
Just calm down. Don't do it!
My parents tried to stop me, but it was too late. I reached out and scratched him back. He began to cry, and my parents put me in timeout.
Where you deserve to be.
Deserved it.
Okay, in all seriousness, I felt really bad for what I did. Even now, I still regularly apologize to Brenner about it. But he can't even remember it, so he doesn't care.
Yeah, he was a
My
baby.
conscience is really getting to me lately.
Are you sure?
I'm
I feel like
so
he did it on
sorry about
purpose.
what I did.
Dude, that was 17 years ago. Can you just move on? I forgive you, okay?
Thank you. I love you, Brenner. I'm
And young
so
Jeans
glad I
must
could
run
get
the
that off
family.
my
He's
chest.
17?
I love new jeans.
Oh my god!
Video when my brother Brody slammed the door in my fingers? Yeah. What? Apparently that experience runs in the family. Brody walked through a door as a young Brenner was sticking his fingers in the hinges, and Brody slammed the door again.
No, not the corner.
Have you ever had that happen to you?
Not the door, but I have a garage that goes up and it folds in. So if you try to like pull it down by the creases, I've gotten my fingers stuck in that.
There's just one time me and Levi were hanging out at a home, and he thought it was really, really funny. He locked me out, and then I slammed my shoulder into the door to get inside just as he was opening it, and I slammed the door into his nose.
Good riddance.
Well, this one time when I was a kid, I was gonna go to a field trip to the zoo, but before I got out of the car, my mom slammed the car door on my fingers, and I screamed really loud, and I don't remember the field trip.
The pain took all the memory away.
Well, one time I was trying to brush my teeth. I had the toothbrush. I sticked it all the way to my throat, and I gagged.
Doesn't really match up with the other stories.
Okay.
Luckily, Brenner's fingers didn't break, and the doctors fixed him up. Feel better soon, buddy, and don't get into any more trouble.
I will make no such promises.
One time, he was playing tag, and rather than be tagged by me, he jumped into a busy street and a car barely avoided him.
Oh my god.
I'm more willing to
Tag is
die
not
than
worth
lose
it.
at tag. Would you rather die a terrible death or...
Definitely death.
Wait, you didn't hear the other option?
Death.
I genuinely don't know why he is so accident prone, but this next story was no accident. You know how sometimes your mom has a really good friend, so she decides to make you hang out with her friends'
Man,
children?
I don't even know
but you
when
don't
I
like
had
them?
really good friends.
When I was younger, my mom sent me and Brenner to play with the neighbor kids, Jake and Steven. The main reason I didn't like Jake
Must
was
be
because he said,
homeschool kids.
"Your sister is so hot."
Icy
Brittany was
stickers.
18. Jake and I were 8. Have you considered
You guys are
shutting
creeps.
up? Anyways, I spent the
took
day
his
tolerating
mouth.
Jake's shenanigans, but eventually I hid from him on the front porch and watched Brenner and Steven play in the front yard. "Come here, Brenner, I want to show you something." Brenner walked up to him, Steven grabbed his hand, reached into his pocket, and pulled out a pair of scissors and started cutting Brenner's fingers.
Oh my god!
I ran over to them to check him out. His fingers were bleeding and he was crying.
Oh my
I slapped the
God!
scissors out of
What kind of
Steven's hand,
psycho
grabbed him
kid
by the
is
arm, and
this?
forced him inside to his mom. "Hey, Steven just cut Brenner's fingers with scissors." Oh, Steven.
What?
No, not Steven.
I was
Psychopath.
shocked. Call my
That's
mom
the problem
right
right
now
there.
so she can pick us up. We're leaving. We left and Brenner's fingers healed just fine. But still, that reaction from the mom was not
He's
okay.
a good big
Luckily,
brother.
I never had to go to that family's house again. Reminds
yeah,
me of
I think
another
the mom
time Brody
realized
was
it.
really young and another boy was punching him. My mom took the kid to his mom and told her that his son was hitting Brody. And all she did was say, "Soft hands, Hunter." I mean, come on, soft
I'll
hands?
throw soft
How about
hands.
punishing your kid for hitting a stranger?
You clearly don't know how to discipline children. Here, I'll show you how it's done.
I don't know about that one either, but
Yeah, the kid
A lot of
deserves
Brenner's
it.
injuries were caused by him wanting to grow up fast and to keep up with his older brothers.
My
Where are
turn.
your shoes?
Oh no.
Bryson doesn't need training wheels on his bike, so neither do I.
No, you need training wheels. Okay, I don't think training wheels would have fixed that.
Let me try.
Oh, a little flip. Easy on the trampoline.
One time, Brenner tried to...
I've done that so many times on the trampoline.
Oh.
Every time I think I'm gonna do it different, but it's always the same, and I always have neck pain.
Maybe you should stop doing backflips.
No, this is gonna be the time I could do it, okay?
This next story is the real reason I made this video. I'm honestly still surprised that Brenner survived this. It was bad. In our basement, we had a tall exercise machine that looked like this.
Oh,
Brenner
the
decided that he
Bowflex?
wanted to climb it and jump off it onto our beanbag for fun. However,
That's a
this
terrible
time it
idea.
went horribly wrong.
Brenner pushed the beanbag close to the machine, climbed up, and jumped headfirst with the same regard for his life that a non-golf player has when seeing one block of water at the bottom of the pool.
That's Sora!
Part of the beanbag covered the exercise bench, which extended out, hiding the big metal part underneath.
No!
Brenner thought that since there was part of the beanbag there, it would be soft. But his head slammed through the beanbag into the metal part, and he split his forehead wide open.
Oh my god! Oh my!
Mom and Brittany came running into Brenner crying with blood all over him.
Oh my god.
They freaked out and dashed him out of the house to take him to the hospital.
He needs to be wrapped
I only
in
caught a
bubble
glimpse of him
wrap.
as they ran out, but I could tell it was bad. Brittany and Mom later told me that they could see Brenner's skull through the gash in his head. My dad sent me to a friend's house so they could watch me while my parents took care of Brenner.
Now?
I remember sitting on their stairs, terrified that I'd never see Brenner again. God, please hear my prayer. If you make Brenner be okay, I promise I'll never be mean to him again.
No.
Oh, yeah!
At the hospital, since Brenner was so accident
Thanks.
they kept pointing to cuts on his head that were from previous shenanigans.
Oh god.
Is this cut
They
old
have
or
a
new?
file for him?
Is this cut old or new? Is this old or new? Finally, my sister was like,
the gaping gash on his forehead, that is new. Forget the rest of it, fix that.
somehow the doctors patched him up. I think they even had a plastic surgeon involved in fixing his head. When I next saw Brenner, he was up on his feet with 25 stitches in his head. But he was okay. Phew! I thought you were gonna die, Brenner. I'm so glad you're okay. Anyway.
No!
No! Has a massive scar across his forehead. But thanks to the doctors, he was okay. Brenner, can you please calm down on the injuries? You're gonna die if you're not careful.
It's not hard to die. I could do it like right now. But like, number two.
Another time, a young Brenner was using the bathroom and found a bottle of painkillers on the countertop. They were coated in a sugary glaze to make them go down easier. So Brenner took the pills one by one and sucked on them.
You're gonna die! You're gonna die!
He did this over and over and over, and from sucking on the pills, he got sick and passed out.
I'm a tired.
I wonder why.
Discovered Brenner unconscious on the bathroom floor, surrounded by pills. What? And once again, the doctors proved why it's good to go to college. Not for me, though, but as for you guys, good for you. I don't know how they saved him, honestly. I don't really know how doctors work. For all I know, they could have removed all of Brenner's blood, which was tainted with drugs, thrown it away, then pumped him up with fresh blood. I don't know. Another time, he swallowed a bunch of coins, and again, my parents rushed him to the hospital where he was x-rayed to
This kid. Throw him away, get a new one.
He ate like $3 in nickels, only $2.75 came out. We're scared.
They told my poor parents to dig through his waist until
gotta
they got
check.
all the coins. He was like a piggy bank, but way more disgusting. He was like a piggy bank, but way more disgusting. Honestly, with how often Brenner visited the hospital, I'm surprised they didn't have a special section of the hospital just
the
for him.
Brenner
This
section.
next story is surprisingly the only time that Brenner has ever broken a bone.
I just
You would
noticed something.
think at this
Brody,
point that he
Brenner,
would have no bones
and,
left because of how often he gets hurt. But nope,
Bryson.
he still has bones.
They're all bees.
My family has a small motorcycle that we call Big Bertha.
Oh, and his
It's
sister's
fun
name
to
is
ride
Brittany.
around on, but it has
And
no
me,
suspension.
Brora.
It is
No.
You're not
Get
Star.
Get out of here.
Yeah,
One day,
I'm one
Brenner
of
was
the
driving
civil-
it, and despite knowing that Big Bertha had no suspension, he decided to ride it off a curb. The bike bounced, Brenner swerved and lost control, and he went head over handlebars.
Oh, I've done that before. I've broken a wrist like that.
He landed on his arm and totally snapped his wrist. One hospital trip later, and Brenner had a cast. He wanted his cast to be unique, so he asked me to paint it to look like Thanos' gauntlet.
Yeah.
So I got the paint
Okay.
and
Ooh,
painted
that's
it as
cool.
best I could to
Okay.
look like the gauntlet. It looked pretty cool in my opinion. But then later, Brenner's arm got itchy. The doctors told him that his arm would be itchy at first, but that if he ignored it, the itchiness would go away.
How do you
They
ignore
also
itchiness?
Specifically told him to leave the cast alone and to not shove anything into the cast to try and scratch his itch. However, the itch got the better of Brenner. So without consulting anyone, he grabbed Brody's glasses and started shoving
Why
the
Brody's
long end
glasses?
into his
Why?
cast in an attempt to
Why?
scratch his itch. He pulled the glasses out only to realize that the little rubber covering had slipped off and it was now stuck in the cast. Determined to scratch his itch and recover the rubber cover, Brenner somehow removed all of the soft wrappings underneath the cast, leaving only the hard outer shell. Brenner had scratched his itch and was satisfied. Then Mom walked in and saw what Brenner had done.
That's not gonna do anything now. Oh.
Come on.
Well,
He deserves it.
He's gonna have more than a broken arm to worry about.
They went back to the hospital and explained the situation. Can you imagine being a doctor and setting someone up with a nice cast to help them heal, and the next thing you know, they ruined it?
I feel like the maid. I just cleaned up this mess. Can we keep it clean for 10 minutes?
They had to cut off his Thanos cast and make another one for him. Brenner got home and asked me to paint his new cast. No, I spent a lot of time painting that last one and you ruined it. How do I know you won't ruin it again?
Come on, man, just
Oh,
paint
he's your
it
little
again.
brother.
Why should I be penalized because of your sloppiness?
So Brenner went around wearing a lame blue cast rather than a cool Thanos cast. A few months later, the doctors took off the cast and they realized that Brenner's arm had healed crooked. It was literally like a
no!
My mom pointed this out and the doctor said, yeah, well, it's within the range of crookedness that we consider to be acceptable, so we're just gonna leave it like that.
Are you serious?
No.
That's easy for
That's
you
what
to
he
say.
gets.
You're not the one who has to live with a crooked arm. Fix his
Isn't
arm
there only
and
one
do
way
it
to
right
fix
this
his
time.
arm?
So the doctors explained that in order to
Gotta
fix it,
break
they
it
would
again?
have to
Yeah, oh,
re-break
wow.
Brenner's arm, angle
Yeah.
it correctly, and recast it.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Hold them down.
Wait, no.
Hold down!
They did that, and Brenner's arm eventually healed correctly, but not without pain. Now, you would think that after breaking his arm on Big Bertha, that Brenner would never touch that thing again,
Oh,
right?
he's going back on it.
Nope. Let me tell you
Bertha
one last story.
too!
One day, me and Brenner got bored and decided to go for a ride. Him on Big Bertha and me on my go-kart. We chased
Oh,
each
that
other
sounds
around a parking
awesome.
lot, but then I thought, how can I make racing around
Guys, why
more
don't we have
interesting?
go-karts?
Yes.
And my mind went to
Right?
my favorite racing game, Mario Kart. You know, the game where you destroy your enemies by throwing items at them. So I decided to drive by Brenner and throw my flip-flops at him. We went back and forth throwing flip-flops at each other like green
not the
shells for some time.
chocolates.
Then I zoomed by and got a good flip-flop strike on Brenner, and he wanted to retaliate with something
No,
stronger.
Brennan, no.
He grabbed a branch and threw it at me. He swung the branch and I swerved out of the way. But the branch was so heavy that swinging it threw Brenner off balance. He swerved and flew over the handlebars
This is why
once
guys
more.
don't live longer than girls.
Again! Freaking again!
Brenner was scraped and bruised, but luckily nothing broke. And he finally learned his lesson, and he doesn't drive Big Bertha anymore. But I do. Let's quickly get through some last stories. Lightning round. We visited a janky aquarium that let you swim with sharks, and a bamboo shark
Aw,
bit Brenner's
sick.
finger. Brenner went to a trampoline park, attempted a stupid trick, and landed on his head and had a little neck brace for a few weeks. Brenner and Brody went kayaking. Brody tried to splash Brenner with the paddle, but it skipped off the water, slammed into Brenner's face, and a car almost backed over him as a child, but he hung onto the bumper while being
my God!
His friend accidentally shot him in the forehead with a BB gun, and his forehead still has a dent. In conclusion, Brenner's guardian angel is built different because she has saved Brenner more times than I can count. And as much as I make fun of
That
him,
angel
I'm
needs a
grateful for
promotion.
that. As he has grown, I think he has gotten a little less accident prone. Let's hope it keeps going in that direction, because I'm pretty sure he has used up all of his 9 lives. God has sent
you
his soul
think?
back to the living world so many times at this point that if Brenner shows up there again,
like,
God might
again?
just say, oh, forget it, and keep him. Well, hey, it could be worse. At least his soul is going to heaven.
It really makes me glad to be Jax and not Brenner.
But you're
No, Sora.
Brax.
No.
Brax.
No, it's
Aurora.
just,
And I'm Brawly.
no. Okay, knock that off.
Yeah, be quiet, Bruca.
You guys are the worst.
Well, at least I'm not bright.
Oh, wait, hang on. His name actually works.
Light and bright, it's the same
Oh,
thing.
great. All right, we got one last one before we dip off. This adds on to the one we just watched.
All right.
Hi, I'm Bryson, and I just posted a video all about my brother Brenner, who gets hurt all the time. But I
just watched
neglected
it.
to mention how my little brother now has his license. The roads
What?
are no longer safe
I'm
for
never
us.
driving
If you are
again.
within a 5-mile radius of him when he's in a car, you are in grave danger. And I can prove it. Here's a video of Brenner learning to drive.
Oh!
Stop. Stop. Stop.
There's a stop sign. There's a stop sign. Oh!
Hi, I'm Bryson.
Okay. Well, guys, I'm gonna have to ask you all to give in your license and your cars.
We
so
are
we're
not
not
allowed
gonna
to
be
drive
able to go on the
anymore.
road anymore.
Take it.
If you guys like this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell us your favorite part, your favorite video. Don't forget to subscribe to him too.
Like,
Like, comment, and subscribe. Bring it to 11 million.